often people get stuck in conversations and because they don't know, because they see exactly the opposite model for them. Everybody's screaming Nazis, alt-right, or, we're not. And this is made work. The place where we should find this is just is where we're not finding it. We're not finding it in the university system, which is why I went on tour for the reverse Q&A in the university system.
Mm-hmm.
And by the way, the video that I think you did, you can see that's not being modeled for them, like the civil discourse, or they came down looking for a fight and they just weren't going to get a fight from me. Which is just another, it's just, parenthetical, but I just threw it out.
Well, even the
about,
are you referring to the real quick? Are you referring to the one where the people came down that were shouting at you?
yeah, they were showing fuck you.
Yeah, even at that, if they came down looking for a fight, at least that would be fun. But they didn't even come down looking for a fight. They just came down to kind of moralize, to preach at you, right? Like it wasn't like you said these things about trans people, I want to fight with you about it. That'd be cool. Okay, go for it. But instead it was, you're evil, you're transphobic, you're causing harm by even asking the question. It's like, damn, if we're at the point where asking questions on a college campus is causing harm, we're pretty fucked. That's a pretty sad state of affairs. But yeah.
Okay, so you said a lot there. I don't know if you know this, but when you say stuff, there's a lot in there.
Yeah, no, yeah, it's
always... You're packing in with a lot of stuff. So part of the problem is that we have people, primarily academicians, who don't go by the traditional rules of engagement. So if you and I have disagreement, maybe one will come up or whatever, I can already tell you. I mean, if it would be a better example if you were here. I'm not going to punch you in the head. You're not going to punch me in the head. We're not going to disrupt each other. The goal is not to disrupt. The goal is to figure out what's true. And if you have people who are unwilling to have a conversation because they think there are embedded power dynamics and discourses, and that's the language that they use, then they've taken away a tool that we can use to figure out what's true, right? And so the idea is, when you listen, they talk about disrupting. That's also why people don't answer direct questions, because they've never been trained in that way. They've never been trained to be clear thinkers.
Mm-hmm.
And when you're not trained that way, you have to make up, if you think that you have a good reason for what you believe, but it doesn't match with the evidence, then you have to make up that slack somehow. I'm offended, fuck you, you're a Nazi. I'm not, my friend Michael Shermer was going to debate. I think it was Frank Turek. I'm not sure. It was a while. It was before the pandemic. On it's like what you said before about some questions are not worth debating, but you're. I should say, and you're also correct that a significant number of people actually believe that they're worth debating. So almost by definition, they're worth debating because someone thinks they're worth debating. So why not have the best representative? And I certainly think Shermer is right up there with among the best representatives. And everybody was protesting that there shouldn't be a debate. Okay, so I'll just be clear one thing. I'm not a big fan of debates because that makes it less likely that people are willing to change their minds. I'm a much bigger fan of conversation. So these folks, they don't even want a conversation. They think, they call it privilege preserving epistemic pushback. There are a lot of, fancy academic names for these things. But the basic idea is that, what you said before, debating it is a kind of legitimacy to the idea. But they've got it exactly backwards. Not debating it makes people think that it's not worthy of debate, and then they become so convinced. But you can't really get to the truth unless you have, at the very least, know some reasons for why your beliefs could be wrong. And we have a culture right now in which that's frowned upon: discourse, dialogue, speech. And unfortunately, this is not exclusively coming from the left, but we see this in large organizational institutional captures. Rob Henderson, I was just with him at the University of Austin. He's also a founding faculty member. He calls this a luxury belief. And I think that's what it is. It's a luxury belief. So I don't know if this is okay. Before I go on to that tangent, so I'll just leave it there.
All right, bye.
Remember to hit that like and subscribe, and don't forget the notification bell so that my videos show up right in your feed.